Hi, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. My name's Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
And today we have a special guest. Special guest, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Mich. I am TheGoldenGorgon on most platforms. I am a dice maker, and I design dice for Die Hard Dice.
I've seen some of Mich's stuff on TikTok, and then I followed up like, oh my god, this is amazing. I think it really got me with the Magnus Archive, like the tape inside of the dice and the spider webs, and it was just amazing. In all honesty, though, I hadn't started watching Magnus Archives. It was much later that I found more appreciation for what that was and what that meant. Later on, I finally finished it like a month or two ago, and they kind of also released a teaser that there's something else coming out soon, which is awesome as well.
Magnus Archives is very good at not revealing the big things about it until the final season, which is
very much so. It was quite the trip. I mean, that's what initially got me invested, but also just kind of like, how does one get started into making dice, or like, is it just a hobby, or is it just a job? What is it to you?
Well, it was a hobby, for sure. That turned into a job that I did not know existed. I got into dice making because I was on Instagram and I saw other handmade dice makers, and before then I had no idea that you could make your own dice. When I saw people like putting flowers and like pretty glitter, because before, my first set that I bought was Chessex, and like Chessex is fine and a staple of our community. Love Chessex, but it was also like my first one was just kind of like two colors swirled together, and when I saw people putting flowers and feathers and all sorts of cool stuff into dice, I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I had just gotten a internship that was paying me like the most money I'd ever had. So I had the most spending money I'd ever had. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to try this hobby now that I have some extra time and money. Because it is kind of a pricey hobby to get into. It's kind of got a big, you gotta pay for a lot of stuff up front before it starts paying off, if you're gonna sell. And some people don't sell at all, and that's totally fine. But like, you have to get molds, you have to get resin and all the PPE equipment, which I did not do when I first started. But it is so, hey, if anyone out there wants to get into dice making or resin crafting or anything, you need to wear a mask. You need to wear nitrile gloves. You need a good mask. You need an organic vapors ventilator. You need nitrile gloves. You need a well-ventilated area, a pressure pot if you're going to use it. It's a lot of money up front to get all of that.
Please tell me it's just because you read the instructions and you were like, oh shit, this is toxic, and not because you had something like happen to you.
No, no, I did not have any reaction, which is lucky and good, and it doesn't mean that you should just go for it without it. No, it was because I later started really getting into researching dice making, and then realized, oh, I shouldn't be casting these in my bedroom at all. No, don't do that. It's so bad. I just didn't know any better, and it wasn't until after I had really done some research that I realized that I was not doing the correct safety equipment, which you should always be doing. But that got me hooked, and as I made my first set of dice like February 1st of 2020, and that sealed my pandemic hobby.
Yes, I got into podcasting, and that's kind of also steals my fucking hobby. So it's like
everyone's pandemic hobby is so fun to see.
Yes, how it's growing and everything.
Yeah, I just spent like the entire pandemic getting very good at dice making, if I can toot my own horn for a bit. But there is a lot of trial and error at first. But once you like figure out the basics of it and you figure out what you can and can't do, it's very fun to experiment and do things. Then I realized that I can make dice for fandoms that I'm in and things that I enjoy and theme things after characters I like. And that kind of was a whole other avenue of dice making that you can get into. It was also a good way to like get followers on TikTok. One of the things that I hadn't, I followed a lot of dice makers on Instagram, and I was on TikTok, but I hadn't seen any dice makers get into videography, like TikTok videos. I'm sure there were some, but I wasn't following them. And my background is videography and cinematography. I graduated in broadcasting and video production, like right after the pandemic started. And so I figured, hey, I'll just combine my two skills and start doing TikTok videos. And that was when it like really started to be profitable. I think there was one dice sale I had where I posted about it. I had a video go pretty big, and then I posted about it after that, and everything sold out within 5 minutes, and it was insane. And that was when I realized, oh, okay, I think I could. This could be something. that was when my parents thought that too. They just thought it was a silly hobby before then. But, yeah,
you get that parental approval is just wow.
Yeah, I would have done it without it, but they were like, "Oh, you made how much?" And I was like, "Yeah."
How overwhelming is that to like put up a bunch of stuff and then just like immediately sell out within 5 minutes?
Incredibly overwhelming. Incredibly. As someone with pretty bad imposter syndrome, I was like, gee, I hope I sell like 2. Are my prices too high? No one's going to pay for this. And then it sold out within 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, sure. Are you guys sure? And then you have to worry about everyone getting them in the mail and being like, I hate it. And then sending it back. No one's ever hated it, but... yeah, it's, something that's in the back of your mind.
Right. How does that feel, like, putting a price to the stuff that you make, and then, like, also, because of that imposter syndrome, saying, like, oh, this is too low, this is too high. How do you finally, like, this is it, this makes sense? What is logically making it, that's the price?
That has always been something that I've struggled with, is putting a monetary value on something that I create. And I know a lot of creators struggle with that as well. But, like... factoring in how much time that you put into a set of dice, the cost of the resin, the cost of the alcohol inks, the cost of the inclusions that you have, the cost of the pressure pot you bought to make the dice, the cost of the paint to paint the dice, the cost of the polishing pads and the polishing paste, and the time it takes to polish the dice. There's just so much that goes into it that causes the price to go up. Which, if you buy something handmade, it is going to be more expensive, and handmade dice is pretty expensive because of all the things that I listed. But when you get to like the final price you're like, okay, this is what probably it should cost, and you think to yourself, no one's ever going to pay for that. But you know what I've learned is that there is always someone that is willing to pay what you're worth, which is very fun, and I like to know that person is out there.
And they keep being out there, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What has been one of your most expensive pieces?
Oh, man.
Material, or just time overall?
I know there are some handmade dice makers out there that like use crushed gemstone, crushed opal, like really expensive. Some people I had someone come to me once and ask me if I could put some ashes. Some people like memorial sets for either their pets or even like people they know that were cremated, and they would like to have some of their ashes in which is like, you can't put a price on that. That's super expensive. I mean, just like from a personal level. And I didn't feel comfortable working with that medium because I never had before, but I did know some dice maker friends that had before, and I recommended them instead. But for me personally, I mean, that Magnus Archives D20 with the mini tape recorder, that mini tape recorder was, I think it was like $30 or something for one little D20. I was going to put it in and wrap it in hot glue that I had spray painted white and cross my fingers, hope it works. Luckily it did. But sometimes I've gotten really into looking up dollhouse minis. Dollhouse minis are excellent to put in dice, especially when I'm looking for something specific in theme, because they're usually around the right size. 112 is what they usually are. And those can be pretty pricey, especially as someone who doesn't have a 3D printer. I have to outsource that or get someone else to paint it or something.
And then it's like additional costs of outsourcing that help as well, just to get that thing done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is something that... All right, what's like your favorite dice that you've made? I guess for yourself and then for somebody else. Or for at least selling.
I had a friend ask me if I could make them a set of dice to do a giveaway on TikTok. And I can't sell my handmade dice anymore because I work for a big company. It's considered a conflict of interest, a non-compete. So I give away dice to my friends all the time. And it's actually very fun. But they requested that I make a rainbow set. And I was trying to figure out how to make a rainbow set that wasn't like, just a normal layered rainbow. And I think that ended up being my favorite set ever. I just kind of poured all the colors directly on top of each other and didn't move it, didn't mix it or anything, and crossed my fingers, hoped it worked. And it kind of created a cool rainbow prism effect that I inked in a nice gold. That was fun. I also I got into Our Flag Means Death over the summer. And I made some Our Flag Means Death themed dice. And I really liked those as well.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. Is there one with like a prosthetic nose in it?
Yes. I made nose jar dice. I made one attempt at nose jar dice. And I made the ink too dark, and it ended up you couldn't see any of the noses, so I had to start over, but then other things happened, and I haven't gone back to a second attempt. But there was a nose jar dice. I did dice for Jim. It's kind of teal and orange slices, and a dagger in the D20. I did one for Steed and one for Ed. So I love being able to make fandom dice. It's my favorite.
Hell yeah, dude.
Is there one fandom that you've realized that you've pulled, or you have a lot more ideas than like anything else, or like one that just really jazzes you up?
Oh man,
what a weird way to ask that question.
I think so. The dice that I have done fandom dice for has been Our Flag Means Death, the Magnus Archives. I have done it for Supernatural because I had a big Supernatural phase, and I also I do a lot of dice for Unprepared Casters. Do you guys listen to Unprepared Casters?
I do.
D&D podcast.
Yeah,
I make
with
D20s. Yeah, I make D20s for that are character inspired by some of those arcs.
Yeah, they got like each arc is a new set of characters, so
it's
you
so
have a lot
smart.
to pull from.
It's so smart. They do really short arcs of like 6 to 8 episode stories. It's so hard to get into long form ones for me now. So just being able to have like really short arcs is great.
Yeah, especially it's like the podcaster on the go kind of feel. Like, yes,
exactly.
I can just jump in whenever.
Exactly. And I listen to a lot of podcasts because a lot of my time is now just sitting and like playing with colors or sanding and polishing, and I need something else to stimulate me as I'm doing that, or I'll go insane.
All right. What is something that you kind of discovered, I guess? I'm going to just jump to podcasting real quick. A something that like someone referred to you and like, I'm not going to like this, but then you start listening to it and you're like, oh, I absolutely love it.
Oh, I mean, definitely the Magnus Archives. I am not a horror fan. All my friends know that I'm a baby. I don't watch scary movies. I can't do them. I saw Magnus Archives everywhere on TikTok, on Instagram. I was like, I guess I'll listen to this, sure. And then I saw a spoiler. I don't know. Can we talk about spoilers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Alex. Are you gonna watch it?
I mean, I'll watch it, but I'll probably not that this conversation isn't meaningful. I'll probably forget.
Spoiler, go ahead.
You should know. It is very good. And as coming from someone that doesn't like horror, it's very good. I saw that there was a gay couple in it, and I was like as a main character, and the internet was like, yes, as main characters. And I was like, oh, that's incredible. Is there anything else I should know about this? And the internet said, yes, the main character is also canonically asexual. And I said, this is so my shit. I guess I have to listen to this horror show and be very scared so I can experience this revolutionary couple. And turns out it's incredible. It's an incredible show. Even if you're not a big fan of horror, the storytelling is incredible. And it's not... I would say that very little of it is, like, too scary to listen to. It's just kind of, like, it's very X-Files. I grew up on X-Files, so getting into the Magnus Archives, it felt very similar.
Yeah.
It kind of like episodic monster of the week, and then it gets into like an overarching meta plot that is incredibly well done.
Yes. It was
I
very
agree
good.
with you. I do not. I don't like horror.
I'm such a I understand why people enjoy it. I've heard that it's like about like an adrenaline rush, and you kind of get endorphins afterwards that make you feel good. Sure.
No, it's okay. I'm with you.
I'm crying.
I'm not for horror at all. I mean, like, I just like
to
not
sleep
scared.
now.
I hate anticipation. It kills me inside. I get antsy, and I just like I don't want to even be here anymore. Watching this thing happen, like I know what's going to happen, but I hate the anticipation. I'd rather just leave the theater altogether.
My limit is about like Nope. Did you guys see Nope yet?
No.
Did I see Nope? No.
Oh
I've not seen it. I watched the Guillermo del Toro, like, the shorts that are on Netflix right now.
Cabinet of Curiosities?
Yeah. And then, so my husband put it on because he really likes horror. Like that's his jam. He loves all of them. Not like, just like torture porn, but just like, he likes that.
Yeah.
He put it on, and then this motherfucker fell asleep. And I was cross-stitching.
Fall asleep watching horror.
Because why not? And I'm sitting there cross-stitching like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like, I have to get out from my, like, warm cocoon to go get the remote. Or I just watch it. And I watched, like, half of them, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I'm not gonna be able to sleep anymore. You took a nap, and now I'm done.
Yeah. I haven't seen it for obvious reasons of me being a baby. But I've heard it's good. I heard a lot of those episodes are good.
They're good, but they're still
terrifying.
scary.
Yes. Yeah, my roommate loves horror, so he'll go and watch a movie and then immediately come back and give me the play-by-play of it, and I'm like, fantastic. We now have both experienced this horror movie.
It's good enough for me. That's how they did it in the old days. Oratory.
There's a person on TikTok, Hell Hath Fury, I believe, who does spoiler. She'll just like tell you the story of the horror movie. It's like going to Wikipedia and reading the plot synopsis. She just tells you the plot synopsis, and that is how I experience my horror films now, because she's great at it.
Look at horror becoming accessible. Who knew in the year of our Lord 2023 that we would be able to just experience horror movies?
This year is for the babies.
Yeah, this episode will probably come out by then. 2023. How many games are you in right now of D&D or any TTRPGs?
Oh man, I am in 1, 2, 3.
I'm immediately
4.
jealous.
I just finished up. I just had a campaign finale for my Masks campaign. Have you guys ever played Masks?
I haven't yet. I bought what's it called? I was at Gen Cons, so I bought some of the books there.
Oh, you were at Gen Con too?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't know many people. I just wanted to experience it as my first con. So it was me just like wide-eyed, like, oh my god, look at all the things.
Yep.
All right, so Masks. You played it. You finished it.
Yes, we just had our finale last Monday, actually, and it was really good. It was such a good finale. Masks, by the way, if you don't know, is it's basically like Teen Titans. It's a Teen Titans roleplay game where you're like teenage superheroes, and it was such a fun group of people I played with, and we had our finale, and it was really good. So yeah, I think I would say I'm in 4. Like, they're kind of off and on right now, but one that's once a week. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's I can't get enough of playing pretend. It's so great. Every time someone says, I have an idea for a campaign, I'm like, fantastic. I'm in. My friend was like, hey, let's do a Breath of the Wild themed D&D campaign. And I said, absolutely. Sign me up.
That's awesome.
Listen, is that just an open box sandbox for y'all just to run around and just be described very beautiful things in Hyrule? And then maybe occasionally fighting monsters.
Exactly. It's from what I understand, it's going to be like instead of Link the champion waking up, it is the 4 champions waking up, or like the champions. I think it's 5 champions. Yeah, waking up, and that's your D&D party.
Heck yeah.
If it's anything like my playthrough of Breath of the Wild, I'm just gonna climb absolutely everything and then get really frustrated that I run out of stamina.
I'm gonna find horses. I want a purple horse. I want a teal horse. I want a black horse. I want a chestnut horse. And they have to be the best stats.
Mine was just throwing in things into a pot and figuring out what works.
Yep,
the whole
that
game. Oh, why is this food pixelated and not good at all?
Bad? Why did I do so bad at this? Oh, there's recipes. Okay. Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite video games, which is I don't think that's a revolutionary statement.
Not a hot take.
Not a hot take.
It's a hot take at all.
No worries. How are these games? Are you finding these online? Are you finding these in person through TikTok? How are you able to reach out or have the ability to find these games?
How do you make friends?
How do you make? All right, so step 1.
I know.
Be a decent person.
Oh. Sometimes it can be hard for some of y'all out there. You guys, you.
I already failed step 1. Yeah, so I've done, I think, all of the above. I played in person, obviously, before the pandemic a lot. I started playing 7 or 8 years ago. I had a friend, a coworker, who invited me. I was working at an escape room, which was a good time. And my coworker said, hey, I have some friends that are getting a Dungeons and Dragons game together, and I feel like you'd like it. And I said, okay, I've heard of this game. And sure, why not? So I made a character on the way to the game. I Googled D&D races and found a list that was not true. And I didn't.
No, not the homebrew list.
I didn't know any better. I thought they were all legit.
Exactly.
So I texted the DM and I said, hello. I would like to be a Lamia, please. And little did I know. So I didn't know that a Lamia was, obviously, 1, not a playable race. 2, a type of monster in the D&D monster manual. And was, in fact, going to be the first boss that the party fought in this campaign. And so he's panicking. Because he wants to say yes to me and let me have a good time, bless his heart. But also, that's going to be really difficult for him to do. And so he asked, he was clarified. He's like, okay, what about a Lamia do you want? I said, I really like the cool half snake body. And he said, oh, okay, that's different. That's a Yuan-Ti. And I was like, okay, that please. So, yeah, my first character was a Yuan-Ti, rogue, because I got there and they said, we don't have a rogue yet. And I said, cool. That sounds cool. What's a rogue do? The downside to playing a rogue as your first character is that you just assume that all characters are really good at everything. And unfortunately, that's not true. But don't worry. My second character was a bard, so I still felt that way. It was only after I played those 2 characters that I realized that you can't just be good at everything.
Yeah.
I just realized that I had a hyperinflated ego, probably, playing D&D. Thought I was really good.
You come in playing pretend and you want to be all the things. The pirate, ninja, mermaid, princess that you've always wanted to be, right? You just give me all the accolades. I'm going to be everything I've ever wanted to be.
Yes. Yep. Definitely edgy rogue was first for me, which was fun because I didn't know that rogues were edgy when I first played it. But yeah, that's just the type of character I wanted to play, and then being a stereotype. And that's
Nice,
just how it is
nice.
sometimes. But yeah, I played in person for a very, very long time. And then everyone that was in that campaign has, like, moved away. Most of my friends have, like, in that campaign have moved to New York. So now I play online with them, like, once every 2 weeks or so.
Nice. Let's
There was
mass
a time-
exodus to New York.
Yeah, right? I guess I gotta go. I go up and visit every once in a while so that we can play in person.
Hell yeah.
And
That's
because,
nice.
New York, I'm not gonna make them come down to Utah.
What's
not
wrong with
exciting.
Utah?
Oh, let's not get into that.
That's okay. We won't talk about Texas, okay, at all.
Oh,
Where we're
man.
from.
Oh, top two best states. Ugh.
Listen, we're out here trying, okay? We're out here doing our best, and that's all
That's
we
all you
got.
can ask for. Yeah.
I know some pretty fun people in Utah that don't necessarily believe some things that Utah might believe as a general entire state.
For sure.
They're still weird. Like there's
Yeah. It's a whole other experience here. My favorite thing is people visiting here who don't know what they're in for and being like, "Oh, huh?
it's
You
everywhere.
have castles here." I'm like, "They're not castles." Anyway.
They're not castles.
They're not castles.
Oh, I am missing something big about Utah. The jazz.
Temples. Utah has temples and churches everywhere, but the temples are very
Gotcha.
like grandiose and upon first look they can be mistaken for a castle.
Adrian.
A few times.
Do you remember there's a building in Lubbock off of Milwaukee? They opened
was
it up
just
during
there.
Christmas for like Advent to like look at the. So that's it. That's not Advent. What is it? The Nativity.
Okay.
The
One of
Nativity
those
thing. Yeah.
things.
So you're allowed to go through
Big
like
into
the.
the nativity.
Yeah, you're allowed to walk through part of this church. You're not allowed to go through all of it because Mormons, Latter-day Saint. But it's real. It's you don't know what I'm talking about, Adrian? I think it's on Milwaukee.
I'm gonna be real. Lubbock, when I was there, it was college. Not a lot of church going.
We
Not a little
didn't
nativity
listen.
scene thingies.
My cousin served a mission in Lubbock, Texas.
Yes,
Maybe
I lived
Do
in
you
the
know where
neighborhood
that's
in which
at?
they come.
Which is like one of the few people who know where that's at that come onto this podcast.
Oh yeah, anywhere that someone I know has served a mission, it gets in your brain.
Were you about to show me a picture or what?
No, I'm just trying to
Alex.
figure out. I'm trying to find it in my head. I'm sorry. It's off of Frankfurt.
Okay, that's a different.
Well, it's not. that
No,
bad.
I don't remember it.
Okay.
Look, if it's inside the loop, I don't know it
No, it's outside the loop.
because my uncle lives on the south side, and that's all I know. That's all I did last time I was in town, and then hang out with my little sister. That's all I did.
No, it's over the United off of 60th, whatever. I don't know why. It's a
You're
deep
going
dive
so
Lubbock
south.
now. Anyways,
Hey,
it's
welcome
it's an
to Dungeons in Lubbock. Now we're gonna name off fucking streets.
82nd
By the
Street.
PF Chang's across from the Walmart.
Welcome to Lubbock and Dragons. We've got
That's where Adrian.
we got
did you
Lubbock.
serve
We got
us?
dragons.
Did you go to?
Yes, I probably did.
At the PF
I
Chang's?
worked there, yeah. Yes, probably.
I know you
Listen,
served
my
us.
next fantasy setting is in Lubbock. That castle church is where the clerics will hang out.
Clerics can't just be Mormon. We can't just do that.
Okay, no, here's the thing, is that I have actually thought about this. I've been trying to figure out what type of D&D character a Mormon priesthood holder would be. A priesthood holder is like the type of power that God gives worthy men in the church, and they can like give blessings with it and heal people with it. And so to me, I have decided they are a celestial warlock because they have to make a lot of covenants and promises in order to be granted these powers. And some of it with a celestial warlock, you get healing abilities. But because like contracts and pacts and oaths are very important in priesthood culture, Mormon culture, I guess.
The culture.
Warlock. It feels very warlock to me, celestial warlock. So
that's where all the warlocks hang out. Okay, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
In fantasy Lubbock.
I want to now create fantasy Lubbock. Thank you for putting that in my head.
A spoiler for one of my games. I just spelled Lubbock backwards for one of my games that I was playing there, which is Kabul. And I just put in extra fucking E's and O's. Like, it's still kind of there, but I just put a little apostrophe, and then they don't know it's just that. They're just low maintenance world building.
Have you ever played Vampire the Masquerade?
I haven't yet. People have promised me many times before, and I'm trying. I'm trying real hard.
I've also never played it. One of my friends DMs for it, and you can just like set it in any city you want. So most people set it in like, California, LA. You got LA by night. There's Miami by night. You can just set it in your hometown. You can just set it. You can set it in Lubbock, Texas. I can set it in Provo, Utah, with vampires. That sounds incredible to me. I want my hometown.
What if the vampires are the Mormons?
Listen, we're on the same page. So because like you can't go in the temple unless you're a member, like a worthy member. So you're asking permission. You have to have like it all. Yes, I'm with you. I think it could be good, is what I'm saying.
I think that could also heal a lot of people, because we talk about healing on this podcast through D&D.
Yes.
Tell me that if you weren't experiencing religious trauma, that wouldn't help.
And like vampires are all about religious trauma.
They are.
They literally look at a cross and gasp and go the other direction.
And then go egad. Oh, now I just want to play a bunch of games now.
Yeah, I've recently started getting into other systems from D&D. I mean, I still love D&D. Yeah. I still play a lot of games, but I'm trying to get into other systems too, because there's a lot to offer.
There's so much out there. It's just like that for me personally, it's the threshold of like learning the new system and then also being able to, hey, other people, you want to geek out on the thing I've been freaking chucking down knowledge for? Like, I'm just...
Yep. Here's what I want to know.
It's a tough buy. It's a tough sell.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
When is Johnny Sims, going to release an RPG for the Magnus Archives? He already owns an RPG company. He designs RPGs. He owns the Magnus Archives. Come on. Do them together. I want to play a Warlock of the Eye.
Hell yeah.
Call him out right here. Call him out.
Johnny Sims, hello. We've never met. You're pretty cool.
I've emailed you once.
You've ignored 7 of my emails, and that's okay. I get it. But listen.
Maybe this one will work.
I need an RPG game about the Magnus Archives. Please. Please, please. I'll give you that for free. As if you haven't already had that. The end.
But if
I'll
nobody
just have to go to my contact and the Rusty Quill now.
Yeah, wouldn't that be wild if he was just like, whoa. Huh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm sorry. That's a good idea. I can't do British accent. I can't.
It's okay. I don't think I could do any better. That was spot on for me.
My kids today asked me if I could speak British, and I was like, I don't think, because we were talking about speaking different languages, and I was like, sometimes when I talk to y'all, I switch languages because I, from high school, somehow regained the ability to speak some French whenever I'm trying to speak Spanish with them. But then, like, I mix it all together. I was like, I don't know if you guys know. No, not like that. Only when I'm trying to speak Spanish. It only unlocks when I'm trying to speak a different language. And then Spanish only works when I'm trying to think of French words. So, like, but I was telling them, I was like, hey, sometimes when I talk to you, I'm, like, speaking 3 languages at once because that's just how the brain works. And isn't that fascinating? Mm-hmm. Isn't that wonderful? And they were like, ma'am, do you speak British? And I was like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
From what I understand, British is mainly passive-aggressive tones.
So I should have just said yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You're always passive-aggressive towards the children.
The children.
You teach.
Listen, children, they're great, but Greg Abbott. That's it. Listen, that's it. We can blame it on Greg Abbott again.
I feel like I may have just offended a bunch of British people, and all I want to say is my best friend is British. So.
Then you got that in.
Yeah, exactly. Some of my best friends are, I dated a British person before.
Yeah, I've
so,
dated.
It's not.
Person once.
So, I think I'm okay.
I love beans on toast. It's fine.
I have a commemorative tea tin from Meghan and Harry's wedding.
Oh,
Oh,
very nice.
close enough.
See?
We're good. Everyone's clear.
Basically British.
Basically.
Except my family is Scottish and Irish, which is
like super anti-British.
What you need.
Depending on who you ask, you're either are or not part of that.
If you ask a British person, you're a part of it. If you ask a Scottish, ask a Scottish person if you're British, and they will murder you.
Someone is wrong, I know, but I'm not gonna. That's not my culture war over there. You know the answer.
Sorry, that's a whole tangent.
All right, where the fuck were we? Oh shit. Oh, what I wanted to say earlier. You're talking about you giving out dice. We had somebody, I think. Do you know Professor D&D?
Yes.
Mason?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course.
He talked about having one of your dice and that being one of his favorite dice
Aw,
that he's had. Or
that's
you
so
gave it to him at the
nice.
con.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Mason's just been helping me out so much.
I took a big bag of dice to Gen Con and just let people pick a random one. You had to just stick your hand in and grab one. And that was a lot of fun.
Right.
I didn't bring enough, which was wild because I brought 40 of them.
You made
But
40?
More next time.
How was your Gen Con experience?
So good. It was so good. My company, so Die Hard Dice only went because they had such strict vaccination and masks requirements. They had really strict requirements for all that, so we felt comfortable going. We haven't been to any in Utah or anywhere else just because we have people that work there that are very immunocompromised. Mm-hmm. So we have to not go to a lot of cons. But because Gen Con had a lot of those requirements, we ended up going. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I got to meet a lot of my internet friends in person. Sometimes when I'm sad, I think about how everyone rushed to get my handmade dice on the first day of the con. It was so cute. Everyone was just right in front. Because I had made a bunch of handmade oversized D20s that we were selling. And I had talked about them online for a bit and posted pictures and stuff. And it was really good. I wasn't sure that they were going to sell. And it was great to be able to see all those people immediately rush to my booth. Feel good moment.
Your hobby turned into a job. How did you just apply and hey, look, this is what I've made? How was the application process like that?
So, my boss, Jesse, posted a call on Twitter and said, hey, we're looking for people that have worked with resin before, preferably a handmade dice maker, because they just needed some help at Die Hard. And I was not on Twitter at that point. I did not see it. I was big on Instagram at the moment while that was happening. And I had a friend who, Firebolt Dice, Renna, thank you, Renna, for everything. She screenshot that tweet and posted it on her Instagram story. And I saw that, and she specifically said, hey, any Utah dice makers? And I was like, Utah? So I looked up Die Hard Dice, and I was like, wow, they are in Utah. That's where I am. So I just like responded to the story, which is like the eye emojis, just like, whoa, interesting. And she messaged me back, and she was like, if you're interested, I've already given them your name and told them all about you. I was like, holy, what?
Hell yeah, dude.
At the time, I was working at a news station, one of the only news stations in Utah that still had people as running the cameras. That's largely being phased out, which was scary because that was my job at the time. But yeah, when I saw that, I thought, okay, well, I'll apply for it. It'll be fun to apply. It'll be a good laugh, I guess, because I won't get it. Because I'm just some chump who does dice in their spare time. And I applied for it. I got an email back pretty quickly saying, sure, send us like examples of your work. So I sent some examples of my work, just like a bunch of my favorite dice sets that I'd made. I did a really I remember specifically choosing this one set that I'd like made a Kraken set that had like tentacles in it and was like holding a book, and it was like pretty intricate. I just wanted to like show off all the different kind of stuff I could do. And I got a Zoom interview, and when I interviewed, I was like, okay, it has to like pay more than I'm making right now, and it has to have benefits because I currently don't have benefits. And I was just, my expectations were so low. I was like, this job sounds so fun, so there has to be like, when's the shoe gonna drop? Because it sounds too good to be true. So I got to the interview, and lo and behold, it checked off everything I said that I wouldn't get it if it didn't have those. And I really liked the owners. We clicked pretty quickly. It seemed like we meshed really well. And yeah, I was invited to come tour the warehouse, and I went and toured, and really got along with everyone there. Me and my coworker, so my coworker Chris, he interviews a lot of people there, and we talked for like 2.5 hours, just shooting the breeze and just talking. And he was so enthusiastic to talk to me too. And when I left that, I was like, I think I have this job, because we just talked for 2.5 hours over just D&D stuff. I think I have it. So now I have to think about this seriously. And yeah, then they offered me the job, and it was better than I could have imagined. And I took it, and now I've been working there for about 1.5 years. It's the best job of my life. The saddest part about getting this job is I can no longer relate to the Twitter memes of people who hate their job. So.
Oh no!
I'm no longer one of you. It's a good company. Oh,
those chumps.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I'm having the time of my life working here.
That's amazing.
How much creative freedom do you have within it?
A lot. It depends on a few things. If I'm working with a client, doing like a partner product, I conform to whatever they want. Obviously, I do what they want. Oftentimes I can like pitch something to them and say, here's what I think of when I think of your show, or I think of your character, or whatever. And they usually they'll be like, oh, that's great. Let's edit it to do this or this. And then I'll recast and redo a different pitch. And yeah, so some clients are more willing to have give me creative freedom than others. My first year working at Die Hard Dice was almost exclusively doing partner products. Just recently, I think 2023 is going to be a lot of families of dice that I pitched and I have created just kind of by myself, and been like, hi, what do you guys think of these? And everyone's like, yes, let's make them. So that's been a lot of fun to be able to come up with my own families of dice. And a lot of times what will happen is my boss will approach me and say, hey, we need a family of this style of dice. Can you think of a few pitches? And come up with some samples and we'll talk about it in the design meeting. I'm like, sure, of course. And that's my favorite, is being able to work within like a few rules, a few bounds, and then come up with a fun family. And yeah, hopefully there'll be a lot of those in 2023 that I'm excited about.
Hell yeah. Excited to see that.
Me too.
What is your favorite one so far? If you can you talk about them?
Favorite one of what? What that has been released already?
Sure. Whatever is most likely to be able to be talked about. Yes.
Because I can't talk about any that haven't been released yet or hinted at yet, just because stuff changes all the time. So who knows? I don't want to give false hope. There's one around October that I'm hoping will come out around October that I'm very excited about. But I got to design the Jester set for Critical Role. That hasn't come out yet, but people know of its existence, so that's good. That one was fun. I really liked designing the Dungeons and Daddies dice. I can't wait for everyone to see them. Do either of you guys listen to the Adventure Zone?
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first season.
Yeah, Balance. So we do designs based on everyone's design, but me and my boss for the first one, we got to kind of translate that design into a mass manufactured version. So yeah, that was a lot of fun too, to be able to do that. I've learned there's a lot of differences in handmade dice and dice for mass manufacturing. It's been a very interesting journey.
Do you get direct interaction with these clients, or is it just like there's a middleman between y'all two? There you go. Those are the words.
It depends. Depends on the person. Some okay. Clients, they go through a merch company. Some go through someone in their business side that is in charge of merch. We have conference calls with face-to-face where we sit down and talk to them and ask them what they want and talk out what's possible, like directly to their face. It just depends on the person. Those are fun though. I enjoy those.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's cool. So were you ever starstruck by somebody that you were like, oh, we get to work with them? We get to work with these sick people?
Oh yeah.
All the time.
I mean, Dungeons and Daddies. My first week at Die Hard Dice, we were talking about the different clients and it's like what was expected of me and stuff. And I had mentioned that Dungeons and Daddies was my favorite D&D podcast at the time. And I was like, man, it'd be so fun if they came to us for merch for dice. And then a month later, I walked into work and my coworkers were like, guess what email we just got? I was like, no. But yeah, that was probably my favorite moment.
Hell yeah.
What is the difference between like mass manufactured dice and then independent dice?
So handmade dice, you can get they just have a lot more artistry to it because you have like one person spending a lot of time on one set of dice. You can get a whole bunch of different inclusions. Mass manufacturing is obviously for a lot of people, so you can't put as much care in, not care. I put a lot of care into it. You can't put as much time. You have to think about okay, is this something that can be done quickly? Is this something that can be done on a large scale? So, me buying a $30 3D printed Magnus tape recorder, you can't do that on a mass manufacturing scale. Or if you can, I don't know about it. But, yeah.
So it is the artisan part of it. Like I'm gonna be able to add in really whatever I want. Whereas your standard dice are gonna be flakies and colors.
Yeah. Both aspects are really rewarding. I really enjoy knowing that a lot more people are going to be able to get their hands on a specific design that I made, because if I make it in handmade, I know maybe one or two people will ever have that set. Mass manufactured, I know a lot more people are gonna be able to afford it, and I can't sit and make 100 sets. It has to be one or two at a time.
What does your glitter look like? Like, is that as magical as I'm like thinking about? Like, you just have like all of these different choices of colors and glitters just sitting in front of you, and you're like just maniacally laughing that you get to play with it?
Pretty much. I think that's pretty spot on. I do need you to take your idea of this like magical glitter and just imagine it everywhere. Imagine glitter everywhere. Powders strewn across the room. I have 0 organizational skills. It is unfortunate. My lab is a mess.
How does your roommates feel about the glitter situation? Do you bring it home?
That's a good question that I haven't asked. Mostly what it is I annoy him by saying, here's all the dice drama that happened today. And he's like, I don't care. Just kidding. He doesn't say that, but just everyone around me is so tired about hearing about dice. I'm like, here's this cool thing I did in dice today. And they're like, okay.
I've seen some of the dice drama through your TikToks.
It's so weird that there is drama in every industry. In every single niche industry. One of my favorite TikToks is someone being like, please stitch this and tell me about the niche drama on your side of TikTok. And then there's like Bratz dolls collectors TikTok drama. There's like knitting drama. There's dot art drama. And it was probably my favorite time period on TikTok was learning about all of this niche drama.
All right, Alex. We're about to hit the hour mark. Any last questions?
No, I need to close my browser because as we've been talking, I've been looking and I'm like, oh, those are cool.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at the bags that are associated. Look at this whole collection. Oh, wait. If you wait, then you can like support somebody through their business of like getting to create their own design. So maybe you should just wait until next year. But then like, what about now? But like, I actually don't play in person. And the game I just
always recommend support. Oh, you roll physical dice anyway. It's the best.
You know, I do, but the game I was playing just got canceled.
Oh, no.
I know.
Yeah, I always recommend supporting handmade makers. They're all over TikTok and Instagram. I adore them. One of my favorite things about working for Die Hard Dice is that handmade makers are like always a thought. They're like, okay, is this thing that we're doing, is it stepping on the toes of handmade makers? No? Okay, we can. It's like they're constantly trying to make sure that we stay in separate territories. And it's nice because some companies don't do that. But it's really nice to be able to see that that is a thought. Because, you know, my roots are handmade dice making. That's where I came from. So it's nice to be able to see that a company cares about that. And it's nice.
Are there trends in dice making?
Oh, yes, absolutely there are trends. My favorite thing is when someone comes up with a trend and everyone's like, oh, you can do that? And so everyone else tries it. There was like blank. Are you aware of what blanks are?
Yes, I am. Adrian, I don't know if you are.
No.
So blanks in dice are, so you have your dice. You can make a blank, which is basically a smaller version of that die, but with no numbers on it. So you can like do stickers on it or paint on it or do all sorts of fun, like have a different color too. And then you put that in the die, like you put that little die in a bigger die that'll then put numbers on it. So you can do cool stuff that's protected by resin. And that was a huge, like that's almost standard now. But when I first started, that wasn't really a thing. And that just became like a huge trend. Like the styles of dice, like the different shapes of dice are a trend. D4 shapes are huge. Like there's like 5 different types of D4s you can get, which is great because the pyramids suck. I'm sorry, hot take, pyramids suck.
The pyramids are uncomfortable to both play with.
Take that, Egyptians. Pyramids suck.
No!
No.
That's not what I meant. The pyramid style.
They're a lot. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're pointy and I step on them.
Yeah,
What's
that's the
trendy
reason
right
that,
now?
Right now. I was just going to say that's the reason that Die Hard chops off the edges so that you don't step on it and hurt yourself. What's trendy right now? I think we just got out of a big pigment paste phase. A lot of handmade makers were using pigment pastes. Got out of it. I still use pigment. A lot of dice makers use pigment paste.
I guess the liquid cores, wouldn't they? Are those...
Liquid cores are probably huge. They've been huge for a bit.
They have been.
But yeah, liquid core is currently something that I haven't done. I know how to do it theoretically, but I was just outsourcing all the stuff and then doing all sorts of really pretty stuff, and then you post it on the internet, and the first thing that happens is 50 people comment and say, "Is it balanced?" And you're like,
Fuck off.
It's
Does it have to be
pretty,
balanced?
and yes, it's balanced. But not...
Who cares?
Man,
Who cares? I did see, and I don't know the creator, and so I'm about to like... But if you... I saw, I think on TikTok, a liquid core dice where they kept everything frosted except for like the D20, the 20 on the side, and so that was like...
Yes.
Polished and beautiful, and it's like...
The sea glass matte finish.
Yes.
Yeah, the sea glass matte finish. I believe that was Cosmic Creations dice. Yes, because they just went viral over one TikTok video where it was all matte except for that one. I just want to make sure that I got that.
Like the window thing.
Yeah, gorgeous work. I love that.
Cosmic Chaos dice.
Yeah, Cosmic Chaos dice. Yes, those were great. Loved those. Yeah, I like doing matte finish dice. I call them sea glass dice, and it's actually just means that you don't polish your masters all the way through, and then you mold it, and then you finish polishing them. Quick hack.
It's gorgeous. Like, I'm not only just sending this to you to like, they're just beautiful. They're perfect. And Christmas is coming up.
And Christmas is coming up. That's a good point.
I love sea glass in general, right? So like all of that hits. My first set of dice. My first set? My second set. Where are my dice? Oh, there it is. I had a friend who was really good at Magic the Gathering, and so would win store credit at our game store. He got to the point where he was like, I literally don't need anything else. Here are my credits. And I was like,
that's incredible.
Excellent. So I have them right here. Like how cute.
Ooh.
I know. And they're the rounded.
Those are cute.
They're all chess.
Are you a sharp edge fan or a round edge fan?
I like the rounded edge. I don't have a sharp edge dice though. I don't have any, so I can't tell you. Like, I like that different. Like, I like the Chessex dice. I was also a broke kid for a very long time, so...
Would you like a sharp edge dice?
No, don't do this to me. I don't want to take your creations. I mean, obviously.
Again, I just give them out all the time.
I mean, listen, we will wrap it up afterwards. I do have the tiny baby ones that I'm obsessed with.
Oh, those are cute.
The littlest ones are my favorite. I'm getting to the point where they have to be in a certain spot in my eye so I can see them. So that's what getting old looks like.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But yes, I would love to.
I can tell you're so. I can just see how old you are. You are not old.
With this weather, both my hip and my knee, it was like we went out to eat yesterday.
It's raining.
It was raining. It's been cold, and like I like slid into the booth, and I was like, "Give me a second. Like I have to like think about how I'm moving my entire body to slide into this booth, so I can have somebody else sit next to me because it just like I had to just move my leg like with my hand. I look some type of way, but like the inner part of me is like, we could be dead soon. We could just.
To be fair, that's kind of just an internal monologue for everyone right now.
You're right.
It's true.
You're right. You're not wrong. No part of this is wrong. But, yeah. It might as well be 1,000.
Might as well.
Adrian!
My dad's 1,000. Okay, you can't be 1,000. No,
You're right.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm excited. I didn't know I knew the trends of dice. Now I feel kind of I'm excited.
Yeah, it's fun to see what the trends are. I feel like there's a really obvious one right now that I'm missing. I'm just so locked into work now that I'm not logged into the...
As soon as we stop recording, it's just gonna be pop right on the top of your brain.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm going to send you guys a message later and be like, it's this!
Yes.
All right. Where can they find you, Mich?
You can find me at TheGoldenGorgon on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter for now. Who knows if Twitter will be alive when this airs. But yeah, I make a lot of TikTok videos about dice making and D&D and stuff. I post a lot of my dice on Instagram. I also post them on Twitter, and yeah, those are the big three, I believe.
Awesome. Alex?
Thank you, dear listener, for joining us on another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. You can follow us on all social medias. Like Mitch said, hopefully Twitter is still a thing, because like a lot of people use it, but like also it's kind of weird and now problematic, but like also we're trying to take down the insulin companies, so like that's a cool turn of events. We'll take what we can get.
Yep.
Yep. This is the weird world we live in right now. Please also like, share, and subscribe all of our podcasts wherever you listen to your pods that are cast. It's the holiday season, baby. So just annoy your family with the soothing sound of Adrian and I bickering at each other while we make other people talk to us about their life. If that's just not enough and you're like, can I do more? Yes, dear listener, you can absolutely do more. You can also follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/Dungeons and Degrees. You can help support us for as low as $3 a month. How great is that? And you get to have fun stuff that Adrian and I definitely will talk about and definitely will eventually do in our lives. And that's just going to be a party that you just have to be a part of.
Yes, it's going to be a grand plan to stay
no
alive.
Threats today. I didn't threaten anybody. I'm in a different mood.
That's right. Hey, if are we supposed to threaten somebody today?
You know, I don't feel like it.
Are we turning over a new leaf this year?
Should I leave you two alone?
It's usually to our listeners. Don't worry about it.
It's not people here. It's the dear listener.
Yeah, the dear listener. Yeah. No, thank you so much for listening. My name's Adrian.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Mich.
Yeah.
Go have some fun.